friends, and welcome back to Coffee with My Sunshine. And if you're new here, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family. And if you're ready, let's get started on this thrift to treasure. This first thrifted find I found at Habitat for Humanity. I think it was last weekend, and I thought it was just really unique with that metal insert piece. So now that I got it good and scrubbed, even though it doesn't look like it, I'm going to first paint the outside frame. It's a mixture of that bluefin chalk paint color that I really like. I've showed you in a couple projects before. If I'm wrong on the name, I'll insert it in the clip. And I also mixed it with a little bit of sea salt, and I think that's by Sherwin-Williams. If I'm wrong, I will let you know. So let's get started. I'm gonna leave the brackets on here because I think they look kind of cool, and I should have taped them off, but I'm using this brush. I've shown you guys before. It kind of has like a tip on it, so it's easier to get in those little cracks and crevices. I'm not gonna paint this the blue, I'm gonna paint this white because I kind of want it to stand out. I think it looks cool. I'm not sure what this would have been on. Like maybe some sort of old cabinet or something. Like, I don't know. I've never really seen this kind of thing on a cabinet door. So I think my next coat I might add a little bit more of the sea salt color. It's the color I have in my sunroom, so if anybody watches my cleaning videos, they'll know what color I'm talking about. It's like a little bit more of a coastal green color than a blue, but it's not like obnoxious. So before we get on to the second coat, I wanted to introduce my friend April from the channel April Adair Shares. We are collabing on this video today. If you've been with me for a while, you already know April. We are good YouTube friends and we have collabed before in the past. I guarantee you will like her if you like farmhouse decor, if you like trash to treasures, which she is the queen of, if you like Dollar Tree DIYs, you will love her channel. So after you're done watching my video, head on over to hers, show her some love, and tell her I sent you. And let's get started with that second coat. That's a little bit of the coastal color. A little bit more. I don't know, maybe I should have done the whole thing in the Sherwin-Williams color. So basically this is what I want it to look like in the end, but I have to go to the hardware store and get some sort of like support brackets, I think, because I don't think just putting screws in here would be enough. I don't know, I'll have to ask my husband first. So we'll just move on to the next project while I wait to figure out what I'm going to do with this one. And for this next thrifted find, I found this at one of our local thrift stores. It was only $1.99. I thought it was super cute. It kind of reminded me of a picnic basket. And originally I had a different idea for this. I was going to actually cut it in half. But then once I got it home, I thought of a different idea. So I'm going to keep it the same wood color and just paint the bottom. I just used some Waverly chalk paint, and then I'm going to use this little tin bucket from the Dollar Tree and these mason jars. These are usually ones that we store coffee in on our coffee bar. We have a cute little setup there. But I thought it would be fun to use in here for tea. I'm going to be using these new Easel Markers. They sent them to me to give them a try. And I've said this before, I don't get paid by them. They just send me their stuff to kind of review and let them know what I think of their products. And these markers, they're actually acrylic markers, so they're like acrylic paint markers, I think. They come with these little tips, so you can write, you know, with the fat lettering or the skinnier tip. So I'm just going to write, you know, each kind of tea on here. And then for the center one, I actually need to get more, but the passion fruit tea is actually my favorite. So I'm just going to write tea on here because I have really big handwriting and there's no way I would fit passion fruit on there. And then for this one, I'm just going to be putting the cold brew packets in, which is awesome, by the way, for summertime, if you like cold brewed tea. And you could even fill this up with all mason jars if you wanted, but I thought it would look cute with some flowers behind the mason jars. So of course I'm going to be using lavender. It's one of my favorite. And I just think this is so pretty, and I like it with the handle up better than with the handles down. And I think this would be perfect sitting on our little coffee bar. And then for this next one, I'm just taking a one of those tall candles from the Dollar Tree and just some of these yogurt containers for the paint, just to mix it in. And then here is some more paints from Arteza. They sent it in the same box as the markers. So I'm going to give these a try, and they're just their regular acrylic paints. And they come in really bright colors. And I think I've told you before, their other paints are really thick and they're great to work with. So I'm just, for this one, we're going to make a like faux birch log. You know those candles that you've seen that have like the birch on the outside? Well, I'm going to try and make my own. So I'm mixing, well, tried to mix a brownish color, kind of like the color of the logs themselves, not the bark part. But it came out kind of like a nasty green. but I'm going to go with it because you're not really going to see it all that much. So I just brought out one of my birch logs just for like inspiration. So then after that first layer dries, I'm going to add some wood putty. And I know this sounds weird, but I was trying to think of something that would give it the, you know, those lumps that birch logs have, like the texture. So I just put a little bit kind of all over wherever you think like the little, those little dark marks would be. And you let that dry fully, and then you can take a darker brown and kind of like pat your paintbrush over those spots that after they dry, over the lifted spots, and make them darker just like you see on, you know, the regular birch logs. And then I'm drawing lines like the birch logs have, which in the end I didn't end up seeing them when it was done, so I guess you could leave out this tip. So then I'm taking some Elmer's glue, and this was also from the Dollar Tree, and you want to put a pretty good coat all over the paint after everything has dried. Put like a heavy coat, and you don't want to let it dry fully. Maybe let it dry a minute or two before you add the paint, because this is going to give it like a crackle effect. You could also do it the easy way and go by that crackle medium stuff. I just actually learned about it from, I think it was Nicole from The Week's Nest. She just did a video using that stuff. So head on over to her channel and check her out too. But I've never used that stuff, and I was trying to make my own, so I kind of wanted to look up some different ways to DIY it, and this is one of them. So like I said, you don't want the glue to dry. You want to use Elmer's glue. You don't want it to dry before you put the paint on, and you put the layer of paint right over it. And you want to use, if you're doing the birch look, you want to do like the color of the birch bark, which is kind of like whitey creamy color. And then the heavier you put the paint on, the bigger the crackles, I guess, from what I read. And the lighter the coat of paint, the more thin crackling effect that you get. And I just wanted to show you what it looks like after it's dried. I think it's so cool looking. It actually looks like a birch log. But like I said, it didn't show those lines that I drew, so it's kind of like a wasted step. And I'm just going to go back over those big lumps of that wood putty, just because it didn't show through as much as I wanted it to. And I think it looks really cool. Let me know what you think of this technique. And because it worked better than I thought it would, I was really curious how it would look on a regular piece of wood. So this wasn't originally going to be part of the video. So if you want to turn it off, go ahead. I was experimenting and kind of wanted you guys to see what it looked like when I was done. So I just took a regular log that we had by our fireplace and stripped off the bark that was on there. It's not a birch log. And I just went over some of the raised spots and made them darker, just like on the birch logs. And because this already has the brown color on the log itself, you don't need to put that first layer down. So I'm just going straight to the glue after that the black spots had dried, and I'm doing it kind of heavy, as you can see. And like I said, this is all an experiment. I didn't even know if it was going to work, but I thought it would be fun anyway. So same as with the glass jar, you don't want the glue to dry. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes in between putting the glue on and the paint. And then you mix up the paint that you want, and you don't want to go long ways with your paintbrush. You want to go, kind of like you would see a birch log. Like those lines go back and forth. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me because I know what I'm thinking, but I'm sorry if I'm just babbling and I make no sense at all. But anyway, you put a thick layer of the creamy colored paint on and let it dry. And I think it actually looks like a birch log. I'm so excited. Now I don't know how this holds up. Like I said, this is all an experiment. I don't know if it chips off or flakes off, but I thought it would be kind of cool if you can't get your hands on real birch. I thought it'd be cool to do your own. And that's about it. If you stuck around till the end, thank you so much. And I hope you liked this little bonus DIY. And I hope you like the thrift store flips. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to head on over to April's video. She is also doing a trash to treasure. Like I said, she is the queen of it, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you all for your love and support, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Oh, I forgot to tell you. I have a big video coming out on Sunday, so make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell so that you receive all my video notifications and anything else I put out there. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye!